your partner is finally seeing the truth. And the version of you they are about to see is going to shatter every single lie they ever believed. It's funny how the universe works, you know? You can spend months, even years, feeling like you are standing in front of a thick, forged-up mirror. You see a vague shape of yourself, but you cannot make out the details. You know you're there, but the reflection is blurry, distorted by everything that's been thrown at it. That's what it feels like to be misjudged by someone who is supposed to see you clearly. It's a specific kind of loneliness. Yes, specific kind of loneliness. You're walking around in a world where one person, the person who should be your safe harbor, was a completely different map of who you are. And on that map, you are cast as a storm, a danger, a threat to their peace. You see yourself as you are, flawed, sure, trying, yes, but with good intention. And they see something else, something that makes you question the ground you are standing on. You have been trying to make sense of it, haven't you? Yeah, turning it over and over in your mind at 3 a.m. when sleep just will not come. You replay conversations, scrutinize your own behavior, trying to find the spot where it all went wrong. What did you say that was so terrible? What did you do that was so unforgivable? You look at the person you love, and you see confusion, sometimes even rejection, in their eyes. And you wonder, am I the one who is wrong here? Am I actually the person they think I am? That's the insidious part of being on the receiving end of a profound misunderstanding. It seeps into your own sense of self. You start to get lost in their version of your story, a story that feels heavy and confining and completely foreign. The most devastating part of all of this isn't even the rejection itself. It's the silent collapse of trust in your own perception. That constant questioning, that gnawing feeling in the pit of your stomach that you cannot just shake. You cannot. It's real. It's a physical weight. For some, it settles in their chest, a tightness that makes it hard to take a deep, satisfying breath. For others, it's that hollow feeling in their stomach, like a perpetual low-grade nausea. You are carrying this energy of rejection, and it's heavy. It influences everything. It can make you second-guess yourself at work, make you shrink in social situations. Because if the person who is supposed to love you thinks you're this awful person, what must the rest of the world think? You have been systematically disarmed by the very person who was supposed to be your partner, and you are left defenseless, holding nothing but the sharp shards of a belief you once held so strongly, the belief that love sees clearly, that love knows. And here is the part that breaks your heart if you let it. You still love them. You never stopped. That's the tragedy, isn't it? You saw their potential, You felt their soul underneath all the noise and all the mistakes. You made excuses for them that they would never make for you. You looked at them and through the lens of deep, forgiving love, and they looked at you through a lens that was cracked and dirty. That imbalance alone is a kind of emotional violence that we don't talk about enough. You were pouring your most generous self into a vessel that was leaking, always leaking, because it was never really seeing what you were giving. And when you tried to point out the leak, you were told that you were the one who was making a mess. That's the ultimate gaslight, the ultimate twist of the knife. You were made to feel crazy for reacting to the chaos that was being created around you. But here is what you don't know, what you didn't know. Here is the piece of the puzzle you were missing while you were busy blaming yourself. The fog they were looking through, the lens they were using to see you, it was never clean. It was smeared with the greasy fingerprints of things beyond their control. You were being viewed through a filter of whispers, of old wounds, of projected fears, and yes, of things you might not even have a name for. It wasn't just a simple misunderstanding. It was a systematic fogging on the version of their version, orchestrated to keep you apart. It was like they were under a spell. Yeah, under a spell, hypnosis, where your presence was misinterpreted as a threat, and their own best interests were completely invisible. It's like they were lost in a carnival funhouse, where every mirror distorts you, making you look monstrous, greedy, or sinister, when all you ever were was standing there trying to reach for them. Just imagine it. Every time you tried to connect, there was a spiritual interference, a static on the fine that made your kind words sound like criticism, your gentle touch feel like violation, all of your best effort to show them who you really are were being intercepted and twisted, like a beautiful song being played through a broken speaker. The melody is there, but all they can hear is the noise. You were sending out a signal of pure, honest love, and they were only receiving a broadcast of fear and doubt. They were being fed a narrative about you, a whispered lie that played on their deepest insecurities. Yeah, and because they were not listening closely enough to their own heart, they believed the whisper over the truth. It's one of the most painful, terrifying, painful things to witness. Watching someone you love choose the illusion over reality and then punish you for the reality they refuse to see. So you started to build a wall, not to keep them out, but to protect yourself from the constant assault of their misjudgment. You had to, for your own sanity. You had to put on armor just to function, because every time you exposed your real self, it was met with suspicion or scorn. It's exhausting, isn't it? Really exhausting, having to be the heavy, the strong one, the one who understands, while they wander around, convinced of their own righteous, unaware of the wreckage they are having in their wake. You were doing all the emotional work, all the spiritual heavy lifting, while they just didn't see it. But let me be clear about something. Building that wall wasn't a sign of your failure. It was a necessary, vital act of preservation. It was you saying, I know who I am, even if you don't. And in that knowledge, there is an enormous quiet power. And then something shifted. You felt it, didn't you? Something shifted. That subtle but definite change in the atmosphere. It started as a whisper of relief, a moment of peace in the middle of the storm. The static started to clear. It wasn't anything they said to you at first. It was palpable energy, a sense that the universe was rearranging the furniture on your behalf. The weight of carrying that version of yourself they'd created started to lift. Just a little. You could breathe a bit easier. Those 3 a.m. sessions of self-doubt started to be replaced with a simple, quiet certainty. You are okay. You were always okay. And what they thought of you was never the whole story. They were waking up. They were shaking off the heavy slumber that have been weighing down their soul. And this was no small thing. This was a monumental cosmic event happening inside of their consciousness. They started to remember. That's the best way to describe it. They started to remember who you were before the fog rolled in. They remembered the inside jokes, the way you made them feel safe, the sound of your real, unguarded laugh. They remembered the late nights where you held them, the encouragement you gave them when they were all at their lowest. It's like they had been on a long, dark road and they finally turned a corner and saw the sun. The sun was you. The sun was you. They started to see you not as a villain of their story, but as the hero they had forgotten to appreciate. And this realization, when it finally hits, is cataclysmic. Yeah, it's the moment the scales fall from their eyes and they see, for the first time, the enormous discrepancy between the person you really are and the person they were taught to see. They realize how wrong they were, and that is a bitter pill to swallow. There is a profound, overwhelming sense of embarrassment that rushes in. It's the dizzying horror of waking up from a nightmare and realizing that you were the one creating the monsters. The shame is not just about the way they treated you, but about their own stupidity, their own vulnerability, their own profound blindness. For them, it's a moment of utter disarming clarity. They look back at the arguments, the cold silences, the accusations, and they see it all in a new, horrifying light. They see a loyal, loving, devoted partner standing in front of them, and they realize they had been staring right through you. The love they are feeling now is tinged with a sharp, searing regret. It's love mixed with a deep, aching apology for all the time they wasted. And what about you? Yeah. How do you feel now that the truth is out? Do you feel vindicated? Do you feel a sense of, finally, I told you so? Maybe for a second, but more than that, I think you feel a deep bone sadness, yeah. Because now that they see, you have to decide what to do with that new awareness. Now that the fog has cleared and they are standing there raw and exposed, seeing you for the magnificent person they were always too blind to acknowledge, you are faced with a choice that isn't even about them anymore. It's about the person you have become in their absence. They look at you with new eyes that are finally free, and they see your strength, your patience, your unwavering integrity. They see your light, and it's almost too bright for them to look at. But here is the thing about light. Once you have been in this darkness for so long, the light can be painful. Your partner is going to experience a painful awakening. That's what I meant. They are going to look at you and they are going to feel the full weight of their blindness. And in that moment, they are going to realize how close they came to losing you forever. They are going to see you for the gift that you always were. And this new vision is their redemption. But you, my beautiful friend, beautiful soul, you are the one who holds the key to whether that redemption can be fully realized. This is where the real depth of your character is tested. This is the moment where true power lies, not in punishing them, not in holding their mistakes over their head, but in showing them through your own strength how to step back into the light with you. Because the truth is, if you choose to let them back in, you are not the same person they left behind. You are a warrior. You are a survivor. You've walked through a fire they couldn't even see, and you came out the other side forged into something new, something unbreakable. You are not just someone who is going to be seen. You are someone who is seeing them. You can see exactly how vulnerable and humbled they are right now, and you can decide in your infinite grace whether you want to extend a hand or close the door. Both choices are valid. Both choices are powerful. Your path isn't about waiting for them anymore. It's about deciding who gets to walk it with you, based on a new, clearer, more authentic understanding of who they are. This doesn't mean the pain is gone. Those scars are real. The months of feeling unheard, unseen, and undervalued left their mark, and they cannot be erased by a simple apology or a sudden realization. Forgiveness, if you choose it, is not a magic eraser. It's a patch on a wound. It's an act of profound courage that says, I choose to move forward, not because what happened. What happened doesn't matter, but because I refuse to let it define my future. It's not about forgetting. It's about realizing the heavy anchor of a resentment that could drag you both down. Because if you hold onto it, you are still shackled to that past. You are still letting the very thing that tried to destroy you hold you prisoner. You cannot build a new beginning on a foundation of bitterness. That's just a different kind of fog. So here you are on the precipice of something new. The old confusion is gone. The old lies have been exposed. The person who couldn't see you is finally awake. And now you get to experience a relationship built on truth. A relationship where they know, without a shadow of a doubt, who you are, what you're made of, and what you mean to them. This is the relationship that could have been had the fog never rolled in. It's a second chance, not just for them, but for you. A chance to rebuild a connection that is clearer, stronger, and more authentic than it ever was before. But that rebuild requires a new kind of energy. It requires the strength of two people who have seen the worst and are now choosing the best. Your partner is going to come to you not with excuses, but with a raw, tear-stained apology. They are going to show up not with their pride, but with a heart that is shattered by the realization of their own blindness. They are going to ask for a chance to make it right. And what they need from you is not a lecture on what they did wrong. They already know what they did. What they need is the you that you have always been, the steady, loving, compassionate version of yourself. They need you to be the anchor that holds their steady while they navigate the turbulent waters of their own shame and regret. They need to see that the possibility of redemption exists in your eyes, or they will drown in the guilt of it all. This is the true test of a powerful partnership. It's not about sailing through calm waters. It's about navigating the storm together, finding your way back to the shore when you have been separated. You have an opportunity to create a dynamic that is fortified to the struggle you've been through. You are no longer fragile. The relationship is no longer fragile. It has been tested by fire, and it's coming out of that fire with a deeper understanding of itself. The vulnerability you will both have to share will be immense, but it is that very vulnerability that will create an unshakable bond. It's the unspoken understanding between two people who have looked into the abyss and chosen to look at each other instead. There is a certain gravity that comes with being the person who held on. While they were lost in the wilderness, you stood at the edge of the forest, holding a torch, not letting it go out. You didn't know if they would ever find the way back, but you also didn't just abandon them to the dark. That requires a patience and a love that most people don't possess. You kept a part of your heart protected, but you never fully shut them out of your spirit. And now they are coming back. They have seen the shocking truth. They have realized they were never lost in the forest. They were locked in a room, and the only person who had the key was you, though you didn't even know you were holding it. Their apology is going to be monumental, and you, in your beautiful, powerful grace, are going to have to decide if you accept it. You are going to have to listen to them as they describe the fog they were in, the things they saw that were not real. And you are going to have to choose to believe in the new person standing in front of you, not the ghost of the person who hurt you. That takes courage. It's a brave thing to love again when you have been so thoroughly misunderstood. It's a brave thing to put down the shield you have been holding up for so long and allow yourself to be truly seen. But that's the final triumph of your story. The title says they realized how wrong they were, but the real story, your story, is about how you, after everything, are strong enough to accept their apology and rewrite the future. Because when they see you now, they are not just seeing the person they used to know. They are seeing the person who survived their blindness, the person who grew stronger when they were weak, the person whose light was so bright it never, ever went out, even when no one was looking. They are not just embarrassed. They are awestruck. And in that feeling of awe, they finally understand that the greatest gift they have been given is not just this revelation, but you. That you are still there, still willing to listen, still hoping for them. That's the final shocking truth they now have to face. That you are the prize. You always have been. And they were just too blind to see it. So take a breath. Let the walls come down just a little. The truth is out. The fight is over. You survived. You won. And now the most beautiful part of your journey is about to begin. This is your time. This is your time. This is the moment you have been unconsciously waiting for, the moment where your strength is finally recognized, where your truth is finally seen, and where your love is finally returned in the way it always should have been. But you have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. It's not just that fate has opened their eyes. It's that fate has opened the door to the future you were always meant to have. And you deserve to walk through it.